to continue my series of short videos addressing a topic that maybe you have never put any thought into. Today I want to talk about your butt, or at least how your butt connects to the seat. Now, where you sit on the seat may have some kind of functional difference, but to me the big difference is about comfort. If I'm too far back on the seat, I find that really uncomfortable, and as I drive and get to the stroke, the front of the seat then squishes into my hamstrings and it makes it quite sore. So I prefer to be much more towards the front of the seat, perched on the edge, ready, primed for action. But of course you can sit somewhere in the middle. But really what I want to talk about today is how you sit on the seat. And the best thing to do is to take a photo or a video or even get a mirror of yourself and look at what your backside is like. Now what I'm primarily interested in is what's happening with your hips and your tailbone. Because what I want you to do is when you look in your mirror or in tape or whatever, take a look and see what's happening. And if you find that your tailbone is tucked underneath you and your hips are rolled backwards, this is a very compromised position to be in when rowing. It can be really extreme where you're like slumped right down like a turtle, or it can just be that you're sitting up but everything's rolled backwards. And the problem here is twofold. Number one, you're just not going to be able to get that power transfer in, okay? So as you push your legs, you're just not going to be able to get the connection through your posterior chain and you're able to hang off the handle, accelerating that power into the machine. Everything's just going to be loading up through that lower back, and as a result, that's where injury comes in. So even just coming in and out of this position to demonstrate for this video, I can feel right down in my L2 and in my SI joints and things. There's so much strain going on here. So if I then add in a powerful push from the front, then all of that's going to be going through my lower back. So what do you want to be doing? Well, so your hips are pointing backwards in this position with tailbone underneath. Just think about tilting those hips forwards. And you're pretty much there just by tilting those hips forwards, okay? You then add in just a good posture, make sure you're sitting nice and tall, and that's pretty much the perfect position. And now as you come in and you drive from the front, this is the position to be able to hang off the handle. Everything is connected. Your posterior chain is sending that power up through your body, into your arms, into your hands, and it's all going into the machine. Now it's easier said than done, of course, to be in this kind of slumped position and then coming forwards. Like I say, you can just think about tilting your hips forwards, and that might be enough for you. Or if you're sitting there, you can think, right, if I was wearing a pair of jeans and I had my phone in my back pocket, would I have cracked it by now? Possibly yes. So I'm going to sit up and make sure that my back pockets of my jeans are nowhere near the seat. Oh, look, I'm in a good position, and that's how you can row. Or you can think, okay, I'm in this position, and then imagine someone has just dropped an ice cube down your back, and then you suddenly go, oh, and you sit up in order to be able to get that ice cube to kind of fall out the back of your t-shirt. Still a bit upright though, so you have to still tilt forwards, but it helps with the posture side of it. Now the last one is a little bit disgusting, so bear with me here. And I need to bring in my little friend, the carrot. Okay? What to do is as you're, I tell you, bear with me on this, is as you're in this kind of slumped backwards position, imagine someone has just stuck a carrot up your backside. Now, imagine please. I really don't want to hear from anyone who's actually stuck a carrot up the backside. But in response to having that up there, you will again have that, feeling of like, well, okay, that's a bit painful. I don't like that. But then the point is, see what I did there, is that, as you're rowing, you want this carrot to just be pivoting backwards and forwards because you don't want it to snap. Nobody would want that, okay? So as you pivot forwards, the carrot goes forwards and then backwards and then forwards and then backwards, okay? And so that's, put him down. So that's the point, is that you're thinking, okay, I'm nice and primed, powerful posture, and then I'm just pivoting forwards and backwards. And that will help you with your posture. It'll help you to make sure to get back into that position at the front as well, because it's easy enough to come in once, and then you come into the back, and then suddenly you're slumped. Must be said, quite a lot of the slump and the rounding happens from people yanking on the foot straps as well. Just kind of cross-purposing videos here, but if you've got a good posture, you come to the back and then you yank on the foot straps. Look what's happened to me. My hips and I roll backwards, my tailbone's underneath me. And then I have to do this weird lurch forwards, which is then when my sit bones grind over my glutes and cause lots of muscle soreness, okay? So if you're in this position and you're trying to come backwards and forwards, it's like a rolling pin over your backside. Whereas if you're in a good tilt and you're just hinging forwards and backwards, all that is happening is your sit bones are just pivoting backwards and forwards over one part of your glutes. And just a little shift mid-row is all it takes for your sit bone to release and then press down on a different part of your glutes. Over time, you'll desensitize to that kind of pressure that happens. It's just something that comes with time in the saddle. But that's the big difference between grinding and feeling your glutes kind of getting mashed up, or it just being a single point going backwards and forwards. And you will also get more length, it must be said. The difference in where my hands are between being rolled backwards and then tilted forwards, even if I am over-exaggerating here, is huge. So if you're searching for extra length and you're in a kind of a rolled, tucked position, you're losing length, your heels are coming right off the foot plates, and you're just not in a very powerful position at all. Whereas the moment I tilt forwards, I can get into the front, and my reach towards the front of the machine is a lot better. Okay, wee extra tip at the end, which has made this video a little bit longer than I intended it to be, but hey, I thought I'd pack in as much info as I could to try and help you. Now remember, I've got a whole bunch of other videos up here that will help with technique tips and things, and I also have hundreds of RowAlong workouts that you can row along to, as well as a whole bunch of plans as well, and it's all entirely free. I can't stress that enough. There will never be a point when you hit a paywall and go, oh, I'm halfway through this plan and now I've got to pay. What? That doesn't happen with me. Everything here is entirely free just because I want to help, okay? There we go, we're done. So please check out one of my other videos. Until then, take care, be well, bye-bye.